Hey, you, ready to dive into something that I think we all kind of struggle with,
Hmm.
when it comes to dating?
Yeah.
It's jealousy,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
for sure.
that green-eyed monster.
Hmm.
But don't worry,
Yeah.
we're not here to judge or anything.
Right.
We are here to equip you
Yeah.
with some actual strategies
Okay.
to deal with jealousy when you're dating.
Love it.
From the Bumble article,
Okay.
How to Deal with Jealousy When You're Dating.
Great article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's super fascinating how we try to avoid jealousy.
We do.
Like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling jealous.
Yeah.
But what if I told you that it's not something to be afraid of?
Right.
It can be a really useful signal for you,
Yeah.
like an internal alarm bell.
Totally. I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of being afraid of it, we should be trying to decode it.
100%. Yeah.
So the Bumble article kicks things off
Yeah.
with dating coach Tanisha Wood. And she has this great point.
Yeah.
Jealousy is normal,
It is.
totally normal.
It's human.
It only becomes a problem
Right.
when it's consistent,
Yes.
when it's escalating,
Yeah.
and basically taking over the entire relationship.
Yes. If it's at the center of everything.
Right.
If that's the main focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that saying about anger.
Yeah.
Holding on to anger is like drinking poison
Yeah.
and expecting the other person to die.
Right, right, right.
When we let jealousy kind of take over,
Yeah.
we are the ones that suffer.
For sure. We're the ones that are stewing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we stop ourselves from going down that spiral?
Okay.
Well, the article suggests
Yeah.
starting with self-reflection,
Absolutely.
and sex and dating expert Eamon Hariri-Kia
Okay.
gives us a great tip.
Okay.
Ask yourself why.
Oh, I love that. Such a simple but powerful question.
Right.
Yeah.
But I bet you it's harder than it looks.
Way harder. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, right?
Oh, ooh, good analogy.
You might have that initial surface reason, but you got to keep digging. Keep asking why.
So give me an example.
Sure. Let's say you start feeling jealous when your partner's phone is blowing up with notifications. Instead of letting those anxious thoughts run wild, you hit pause. Ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this way?
Right.
Is it a trust thing? Is it because you're feeling a bit insecure about where you stand?
Yeah. Like maybe they're always texting other people.
Right, right. Or maybe it brings up past experiences like being cheated on.
Oh, yeah.
Getting to the root cause. It's so important.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's about understanding yourself better.
Right.
Okay.
So you've done a little bit of that inner work. What's next?
Well, the article talks a lot about communication, which is huge.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Being clear and honest, it's key. But it's not just about what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
Iman suggests using I statements instead of you statements. Do you see the difference?
So instead of saying, you're always texting other people and ignoring me,
Right, exactly.
you'd say something like, I feel hurt and a little neglected when you're on your phone during our date.
That's it.
It's way less accusatory.
And it's more about owning your experience. It shifts the focus from blame to understanding, which is so important for a healthy relationship.
Totally. But I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
How does this work in the very early stages of dating?
Oh, that's a great point.
Like where bringing up heavy emotions like jealousy can feel super awkward,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's definitely trickier. You don't want to dive into deep emotional territory too soon.
Right.
But instead of bottling it up or jumping to conclusions, the article suggests focusing on your needs
Okay.
and communicating them directly.
Give me an example.
Hey, let's say you've been on a few dates with someone and they've gone radio silent for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Instead of freaking out and assuming they're not interested anymore, why not send a casual text? Like, hey, been thinking about you. Would love to see you again sometime this week. That way, you're putting yourself out there without sounding, too clingy or demanding.
Right.
And their response will tell you a lot about where they stand.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what if you're feeling insecure
Yeah.
about where the relationship is headed? It's probably too early to be like, define the relationship.
Oh, yeah. Way too early for that.
But how do you bring that up
Right.
without sounding too crazy?
Again, honesty is best.
Yeah.
But keep it light and focused on your feelings. You could say something like, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. Are you still open to seeing where things go?
Yeah, that's good.
It keeps the conversation open and honest without the pressure.
I like that.
And here's the takeaway. No matter what stage of dating you're in, if someone isn't receptive to your needs or willing to have an honest conversation, it's probably a sign they're not the right fit for you.
That's such an important reminder.
It's about knowing your worth, right?
Okay, so we've talked about self-reflection.
Yeah.
Communication.
Right
What
on.
about those moments when those feelings of jealousy just won't quit?
Oh, I know those moments.
What are some practical strategies
Okay.
for dealing with them?
It's great to have some go-to coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Tanisha suggests creating a list of all the qualities you love about yourself.
I love it.
Right. It's like a little confidence booster that you can access anytime.
Anytime, anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that reminder that you're worthy and valuable regardless of what's happening in your dating life.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And the article also mentions confiding in a trusted friend. Sometimes, just talking it out.
It can make a big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Having someone who gets it, it can be so helpful.
Right.
Someone to be like your dating Sherpa.
Yeah.
To guide you through all those like emotional twists and turns.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Dating Sherpa.
Okay, so speaking of tricky,
Yeah.
I think we should circle back to this whole idea
Yeah.
that jealousy isn't always bad.
Right.
Remember how the article
Yeah.
highlighted how it can be like this signal,
Powerful signal. No,
like a heads up that something needs your attention.
like a check engine light.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
It's like a smoke detector for your relationship.
Ooh. I like that.
Sometimes it's going off because you burn the toast.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Little insecurity.
Some of the smoke,
But other times it's a sign of a real fire.
Yeah. A real problem.
That needs to be put out.
Okay. But how do you know the difference? Right.
That is the question.
Between a false alarm and a real warning.
Right.
How do you decipher that?
Well, this is where
Yeah.
I think all that self-reflection comes back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Self-awareness is key.
And that open communication.
Communication. Huge.
So, like, if you're constantly feeling triggered
Yeah.
by just these small things, it might be a sign that there are some deeper insecurities
Right.
that you need to work on.
Something within you.
Right. But if your jealousy is coming from
Yeah.
your partner's actions,
okay.
that's a different story.
So it's not just you being overly sensitive.
Yeah.
There might be a legitimate reason.
Yeah. So let's say
Yeah.
you're feeling uneasy because your partner is consistently dismissive
Okay.
or secretive.
Right.
That's a red flag.
A big red flag.
You shouldn't ignore it.
Not at all. You have to address it.
Right.
You can't just sweep it under the rug.
So in those situations, communication is key.
Crucial. You have to talk about it.
Right.
Openly and honestly. Remember those I statements.
Okay, so you've had the conversation. You've laid it all out there.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Their response.
Yeah.
That's where you can really tell.
Right.
If they are receptive to your concerns.
Yeah.
And willing to work on things with you.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
That's a really good sign.
Shows respect.
Yeah.
They value the relationship.
But what if they get defensive?
Okay.
Or they shut down?
Yeah.
They refuse to even acknowledge
Yeah.
your feelings.
If they're dismissive.
Yeah.
That's when you really need to listen to those alarm bells.
Even if it's hard.
Even if it's really tough.
Because sometimes, even though it's painful, walking away is actually...
Sometimes it's the healthiest choice.
Yeah.
Even though it hurts.
The healthiest option.
It's about knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Not settling for less than you deserve.
Right. And dating shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be constant
The
stress.
constant source of stress and anxiety.
It shouldn't feel like walking on eggshells all the time.
Exactly.
You should be excited.
It should be fun.
Energized.
Yeah. Excited.
Not drained and worried.
And hey, even if a relationship doesn't work out, the lessons you learn from those experiences can help you grow.
100%.
And make wiser choices in the future.
You learn so much from every relationship.
Yeah.
The good and the bad.
It's all part of the journey.
It is. Learning and evolving as individuals and in our relationships.
I love that. So before we jump into our final thoughts, I want to circle back to something that the article mentioned that really stuck with me. It's this idea that dating should be
fun.
Yitty.
Flirty.
Flexy.
Curious.
Fancy.
It's a time for exploration, for connection.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting yourself out there.
We shouldn't let jealousy rob us of those moments.
Right.
Of pure fun and excitement.
It's like you're wearing sunglasses on a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, good analogy.
You're there, but you're not really experiencing it fully.
Yeah.
You're missing out on the vibrancy.
So how do we make sure
Yeah.
Those green-eyed monsters aren't stealing our sunshine.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
How do we keep that jealousy in check?
Yeah.
Well, the article gives us a few practical tips, like try focusing on the positive aspects of dating.
Okay.
Practice gratitude for the connections you do have. And remind yourself that everyone is on their own unique journey.
So instead of comparing yourself to others,
Yeah.
or getting caught up in those what-ifs,
Yeah.
you can really just shift your focus to appreciating what you have right now.
What you have in this moment.
And remember, dating is not a competition.
It's not. It's not about winning or losing.
It's about finding someone who compliments you, supports you, and brings joy to your life.
For you, joy, yeah.
And that all starts with feeling secure.
Absolutely.
And confident in yourself.
Which brings us back to self-love, self-acceptance.
Right, full circle.
When you value yourself, you're less likely to get caught up in those insecure, jealous thoughts.
It's like having a strong foundation.
Yeah, a solid base.
It can withstand any storm.
Exactly. A strong sense of self.
So before we jump into our final thoughts,
Yeah.
let's quickly recap.
Okay, let's do it.
The key takeaways from our little exploration here.
A little jealousy deep dive.
Right, of jealousy in the dating world.
So, what have we learned?
We've learned that jealousy, it's normal.
Totally normal. A human emotion.
But it's important to understand it.
Yeah.
Manage it effectively.
Manage it right. Don't let it control you.
And we have the tools.
We do. We have the tools.
Self-reflection, open communication.
Communication is key.
And those healthy coping mechanisms.
Having those go-to strategies.
Right.
That you can rely on when things get tough.
Those are your trusty tools.
Your trusty tools, yeah.
To navigate those tricky feelings.
Your emotional toolkit.
And remember, jealousy can actually be valuable.
It can.
Yeah.
It can be a signal.
It can be a signal.
It can be like that warning sign.
Alerting you to potential issues.
It needs your attention.
Right. The key is knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Between those false alarms and the real deal breakers.
The things you shouldn't ignore.
Right. And most importantly,
yeah,
we've been reminded that dating should be an enjoyable experience.
It should be. It should be fun.
Filled with connection, exploration, and joy.
Joy, excitement, all those good things.
But don't let jealousy rob you.
Don't let it steal your joy.
Of these precious moments.
You deserve to enjoy the process.
Okay, so for our final thought, I want to leave you with a question that encourages you to kind of reflect on your own experiences. And apply these insights to your life.
Love that. A little something to ponder.
So imagine you're on a first date.
First date.
And everything's going great.
Things are going well.
You're feeling a spark.
Okay, there's a spark.
The conversation is flowing.
I'm arriving.
You're genuinely enjoying yourself. Suddenly, your date's phone buzzes. And they seem distracted. They keep glancing at the notifications.
They're checking their phone.
Right.
Instead of being present with you.
And you feel that twinge of jealousy seeping in.
That familiar feeling.
What would you do?
That's a good question.
It's like putting all these strategies into practice.
Yeah.
In a real life.
In a real life dating dilemma.
Dating dilemma.
Yeah. What do you do?
So, think about it. How would you handle that?
A lot to consider, right?
It's a super relatable scenario, right?
Totally.
I mean, who hasn't been on a date where the phone becomes the third wheel?
Oh, all the time. It's like, are we even on a date?
You're trying to have this genuine connection.
Right.
And then their attention just grifts away.
It's like a modern day dating obstacle course.
Yeah.
Complete with notification hurdles, social media distractions.
So instead of letting that jealousy kind of sweep you away in the moment, you got to hit that pause button.
Pause. Yeah. Take a breath.
Check in with yourself.
Check in.
Be like, okay.
Yeah.
Why am I feeling jealous right now?
What's going on?
Is this a fleeting thing? Or is there something more here?
Okay. Is it a one-time thing?
Yeah.
Or a pattern?
Exactly.
Like, if they're glued to their phone the whole time, that's a red flag.
Right.
It's about respect for your time.
Yeah.
But if it's a quick glance?
Yeah.
Or like a real need to respond to something?
Yeah.
Maybe don't sweat it.
Right.
Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Okay, so let's say you've thought about it.
Yeah.
And you decide it's worth addressing.
Okay.
How do you bring it up? Without sounding, like all accusatory.
Right.
Or ruining the vibe.
You don't want to kill the mood.
Right.
So remember those I statements.
Yeah.
Instead of saying you're being rude.
Yeah.
Or are you even interested in me?
Yeah.
You could say something like, I'm really enjoying our conversation.
Yeah?
And I would love to hear more about what you were saying.
Yeah.
Would you mind putting your phone away for a bit so we can focus on each other?
Yeah, I like that.
It's direct, but not aggressive.
That's so much better.
It gives them a chance to explain themselves.
And then you can gauge their reaction.
Right. How do they respond?
Do they apologize
Yeah.
and try to be more present?
Mm.
Or do they just kind of brush it off
Yeah. Do they dismiss it?
and continue to prioritize their phone
Right. Actions speak louder than words.
over the connection that you're trying to build?
It's a good indicator of their priorities.
Yeah. Their response is really telling, isn't it?
It is. It speaks volumes.
About their level of respect
Respect, yeah.
and consideration.
Consideration for you.
If they're dismissive,
Yeah.
it might be a sign that they're not the right fit.
Right. Even if it's just a first date.
Yeah. Even if it's a first date.
It's about setting boundaries early on.
It's all about
Recognizing your worth
setting those boundaries early on
right from the start.
and recognizing your worth.
Knowing what you deserve.
You deserve someone who values your time and attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Right from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's all part of the journey.
It is.
Learning, growing.
Growing, learning.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. We've done a deep dive into jealousy.
In this deep dive on jealousy.
Yeah.
Any final empowering thoughts?
Oh, let me see. I would say, remember, you have the power.
Yeah.
You have the power to create
Okay.
a positive and fulfilling dating experience for yourself
I love that.
by understanding your emotions,
Yeah.
communicating openly,
Mm-hmm.
and setting healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
You can navigate the ups and downs
The ups and downs of dating.
of dating.
Yeah.
With confidence and grace, you got this.
So true. Don't let those green-eyed monsters
Don't let them win.
steal your joy.
You have the tools.
You have the tools to tame them
You do.
and create a dating experience that's right for you.
That aligns with your values.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next time.